Hey, church family, it's Pastor Shannon here with our weekly update for April 3rd. It's been a couple of weeks since I got a weekly update out to you, and this week it's a little bit late because I took off Monday after Easter. But I just wanted to take a moment to celebrate our Easter worship with you all and also to give you a heads up on where we're headed in church this upcoming Sunday. Well, a couple of weeks ago, as you may have seen, I sent out a letter and an email talking about our Easter offering. And in that letter, I mentioned that so far this year, we had raised about $1,500 towards our United Methodist apportionments, also called mission shares, essentially our share of the mission of the greater United Methodist Church. And I wanted to give you an update that since I sent that letter through our Palm Sunday breakfast and our Easter offering, we have raised an additional $4,258 to go towards our mission shares. And that brings our total for the year to $5,770, which is incredible because it's only April, and that's almost as much as what we had raised in 2023 for the entire year. So I wanted to thank you, I wanted to celebrate you, and I wanted to tell you to keep up the great work in giving. As a church, we have made a goal or made a commitment to not only have a flat budget, but to also pay our conference apportionments in full. And that is a pretty lofty goal, but you are well on your way. And I just wanted to thank you and to let you know just to keep up the great work. I also wanted to give a little bit of a heads up about where we are headed in church this upcoming Sunday on April 7th. My sermon will be asking the question, what happened to Judas? You know, we all know Judas Iscariot as the disciple who betrayed Jesus, who handed Jesus over to his enemies. But as I talked about on Maundy Thursday, all of the disciples in some way failed Jesus. They abandoned him, they deserted him, they denied them. None of them get off the hook. But of course, when Jesus rose again, he welcomed them back. He forgave them. He even gave them the mission, the challenge to go out into all the world and spread the gospel. Unfortunately, Judas's story ends in tragedy, and he takes his own life before he can see the risen Jesus. So this question has just been playing in my head about what would have happened if Judas had just waited a couple of more days. So even though this sermon deals with pretty heavy themes around suicide, I'm not going to get into the nitty-gritty details of Judas's death, but I do want to offer just a little bit of a content warning that this will be a little bit heavier than perhaps my normal sermons. However, I think ultimately this sermon it leaves us with a reminder of God's love and God's grace, that no matter what we've done, God will always forgive us, and we always have hope even in our darkest days. Well, we had an amazing worship service on Easter, and let's not let that momentum end. As many Christians say, every single Sunday is a little Easter. So I look forward to seeing you again this upcoming Sunday as we gather together to worship and celebrate the risen Christ. See you then.